Slowing down doesn't always require a big life change, such as moving to the country or quitting your job. It's not just about the circumstances, it's also about how you perceive them. You can slow down by making tiny shifts into your everyday life. In fact, starting small creates a more sustainable foundation for a life that will make you prepared for when life happens. And as we know, there's always something to feel stressed about. But there are also ways not to let yourself slip too deep into that stress. Hi, my name is Jana. Welcome back to my channel, where I talk about slow living and my life in the Finnish countryside. In this video, I will be going through tiny practical habits and mindset shifts that will help you start a slow life right away. And while I'm talking to you, I will be working on this sweater that I'm knitting for my son. It's a very basic raglan sweater. He chose the color of the yarn himself. I'm almost finished. I'm doing the ribbing for the hem and then I only have the sleeves left. I will link the details down in the description box. Learn to rest in the moments. The other day I was driving to Helsinki for a work gig. It was a busy day and it had been a busy week, and I felt like it had been a busy few weeks already. I felt like I didn't really have enough time to rest between all the things that I had to do. And while I was driving, it was a really beautiful autumn morning. The sun was shining. There were some really beautiful landscapes on the way. It occurred to me that if I can't rest between the moments, I can rest in the moments. When I was driving there, I had the opportunity to just soak in all the beauty around me. I didn't have to wait for a perfect break. I could make the most of the moment that I was in. And that was a really important mindset change for me. I can make the most of every moment. I can try to see the best of every moment. I can try to enjoy every moment, even though I was driving there for work, and to be honest, I was maybe a bit restless and had a bit of anxiety about about the person I was going to meet and if I had been preparing well enough and everything like that. But I decided that I will not think about those thoughts in that moment. I will just try to enjoy it the best I could. I'm trying to remember that so that I could rest in all the moments, not just when it's kind of dedicated rest time. Stop checking the time if you're late. It often happens that if we're going somewhere, we already know that we're like 10 minutes late. And this depends on the culture a little bit, but in Finland, if you're 10 minutes late, that's already considered that you're late. I have decided that I will not be checking the time if I know that I'm already late, because it doesn't help. It just makes me feel restless, and especially if I'm driving, I don't want to take unnecessary risks just because I'm late. Usually, you don't really have a way to speed up if you want to obey the traffic rules. You might just as well admit that you're late, apologize and try to be on time the next time. The next one is a bit similar. Stop running after buses. Here in the countryside where I live, there are virtually no buses at all, so it doesn't apply to me. But when I lived in Helsinki, there was always a new bus every 10 minutes or 5 minutes, depending a bit where you wanted to go. But the public transportation system in cities is usually so good that you don't really have to run after a bus. And if you do run after buses, it just makes you feel more busy, when in reality those 5 minutes don't really matter. And this brings me to my next point, which is waiting is a gift of time. It often happens that we find ourselves in that situation where we have to wait like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Maybe we are queuing somewhere, or we are waiting for somebody that we are meeting, we are waiting for that bus, or whatever it is that we are waiting for. Don't take out your phone. Don't try to look for entertainment right away. Just take those 5 minutes as a gift to let your thoughts come and go, to see what's going on inside you, to reflect a little bit how your day is going, how you're feeling, what are you observing around you. Maybe you are in a place where you can observe other people, observe the beauty around you. Having these unexpected moments of peace can make our day feel so much more peaceful. Now there's a knot in my yarn. I have to pause to try to untangle it. Leave unnecessary WhatsApp groups, unsubscribe to mailing lists you don't need, and remove apps that you're not using. Recently, a friend of mine invited me to join a WhatsApp group that offers free dance parties to everybody who's interested. And I thought the idea was marvelous. I wanted to join, and I joined right away. But then I found that I didn't really have time to join those dance parties. I felt like, as much as I wanted to, I already had so many other routines in my life, like meditating, laughter yoga, doing actual yoga, doing visualizations. There was no room for those dance parties, as fun as they would have been. I had like 160 unread messages in that group, and that started to feel a bit stressful. It started to feel like just another chore, something that I should be doing, even if it was supposed to be something fun. So I recently removed that group from my phone after trying to find the time to actually join one of the parties. So I think it's important to notice that digital clutter is clutter as well, just like things in our house that we don't use or need. If you have to delete like 200 emails every day, that's a lot. And all of that information kind of takes a part of our headspace. We might think it's nothing, but when we read those messages, it takes away from the peace of mind that we might have had before reading those messages. Stop nagging. I have 2 kids. They are 10 and 13. And I often feel like I would want to live in a house that's tidier and cleaner than what feels possible. And of course I try to teach them how to keep things organized, how they have to participate in keeping the house clean. But sometimes it just doesn't work. I have decided that sometimes it's just wiser to shut the door, maybe go out for a walk. Close your eyes to the messiness of the house. If the mess starts to bother me too much, I often feel like it's a sign that I'm feeling stressed out. It tells more about me and my state of mind than the actual messiness of the house. Sometimes if I'm feeling relaxed, I can just ignore the mess and it's fine. But if I'm stressed out about some other reason, all the mess starts to bother me. If I feel the urge to start complaining about it and start nagging about it, I just try to wait for a more peaceful moment so that I can start the discussion in a more constructive way when I'm not feeling angry and irritated by the mess. Spend 15 minutes cleaning every day. This is definitely a work in progress for me. I made this decision some time ago. I started feeling like, what if I, instead of a weekly clean, what if I just started cleaning up like for 15 minutes every day, would it make a difference? Well, I have to confess that it hasn't really been that easy to commit to that for 15 minutes every day, so I haven't been doing it. But I think the idea is great, and I hope to be able to implement that in the near future better. Because I have noticed that sometimes you feel like a room is a complete mess, and you feel like it's going to take you ages to clean the whole house. But if you divide it between days, if you just take one room at a time, one task at a time, even just for 15 minutes at a time, it will make a huge difference. And if you keep doing that every day, you don't have this huge task at the end of the week. Go to bed the same time as your kids. My kids go to bed at 10 usually, and I find that if I go to bed that early as well, it gives me this sense of having time to sleep. It often takes me quite a while before I fall asleep. If I go to bed late, I feel like the morning is too close. I don't have enough time for a good night's sleep. Now that I've started going to bed early, it means that I often wake up early as well. It feels like the day is longer, like I have a long day ahead of me to do things, to achieve stuff. Although the day is exactly the same length, of course, but it just feels like I have more time. And the last one is maybe the most important one. Start small. Let's say you have this big dream of moving to the country, quitting your job, starting a new career, starting a slower life, whatever it might be for you. I think the most important thing about this is to realize that starting small is as good as big overnight changes. If you dream of buying a farm and starting to raise sheep, maybe start by signing up for a course on how to raise those sheep. Or maybe you can start by saving a tiny bit of money every month so that the thought of actually buying a farm will be more realistic. Since this whole video was about tiny changes, tiny shifts, I want to emphasize how important these tiny habits are, because they accumulate over time. And when you have done things by changing your life gradually, by making tiny changes, it's more sustainable. If you make some big overnight changes, it's like when you decide to lose, 20 kilos, and you decide to change your whole diet and your whole way of living. It might be difficult to stick with that decision. Tiny shifts are just as powerful or even more powerful than big ones. Right, this was everything I had to say today. The list could go on and on. There are so many tiny details that can help you feel that your life is slower. Maybe I will make another video like this in the future with another kind of list. I don't really know if I made any progress on this sweater while I was talking. It feels like I knit very slow when I'm talking, but it doesn't matter. As always, I would love to hear your thoughts about this. And of course, if you have made any bigger life changes, I would like to hear about those as well. Your comments always mean a lot to me. I love reading them. They make this channel a community, not just me talking to a camera alone. But in any case, remember to take care of yourself. See you in the next video. Bye bye!